Hello everyone, greetings. My name is Mohammed Arar. I'm a legal advisor for Smart Money Claims Recovery Services. Smart Money specializes in claims recovery and management of accounts receivable. Our slogan is, a sale is not a sale until it's paid for. In today's video, we will discuss the debt collection process in the UAE. You will be able to see my contact details at the end of this video. First of all, what is the definition of debt? Debt is a sum of money due by contract. It's a money due by an agreement which fixes the amount independent of specific circumstances. In conclusion, if you make a contract to give or do something for someone, you now owe debt. A good example of debt case in the UAE is, for this example, we have a UAE trading company called X that is doing business with an international company called Y. X purchased goods from Y with an initial down payment of 10% of the total invoice. Payment terms were defined in the purchase order by Y. The remaining balance should be paid upon delivery of the goods. After X received the goods from Y, then X failed to pay the outstanding balance. This is a common case in the UAE, which is why it's important always to have a legal documentation, purchase agreements, payment terms clarified before going ahead. In the UAE, the financial obligations of the debtors can take many forms, such as borrowed money by a debtor from the financial institutions, banks, generally credit cards or loans, checks, and rent payments. Some of these terms of debt can be constituted by express contracts or financial obligations established through evidence. As a result of failure to settle any form of debt in the UAE, the defaulter can be subject to both criminal and civil liabilities. It's important to understand the claims recovery process in the UAE. Now, let me go through the steps, starting with the evaluation stage. In this stage, where Smart Money studies the case and documents along with all correspondence between the parties, I mean the creditor and debtor. Once the case is evaluated, the collection plan must be made. This collection plan, actually the stage describes all the process and steps to follow for the case. The collection plan is considered as a legal contract between the both parties, I mean the Smart Money and the client. It's the stage that defines the actions to take forward. During the amicable settlement stage, the payment schedule is defined with the debtor. In the UAE, this is considered to be a contract. The amicable settlement stage is done away from the court. As a debt collection agency, we ensure the payment plan is followed by the debtor. We try to achieve an amicable settlement. If the debtor doesn't fulfill the requirements, we then advise the clients to go ahead with the legal action and court enforcement. All amicable settlement communication is filed to ensure that all records available if the client decide to go ahead with the legal procedures afterwards. Legal action takes place if amicable settlement is not fulfilled. And legal action is determined on a case-to-case basis depending on the type of debt, as of course is not only legal suggestion. The government authorities have the solutions available for different types of cases which can also help recover debt. The main target to recover the debt, either by agreed payment plan or by court judgment execution. If the case goes to the court and judgment is issued against the debtor, the judge will declare the total outstanding amount due. The outstanding amount includes the principal amount, the debt, plus the legal fees and interest. These fees must be paid by the debtor directly. If the debtor doesn't pay the outstanding, we would advise the client to execute the judgment to enforce the debtor to pay the debt. If the debtor is an individual, they would be personally liable to pay the outstanding and legal fees. On the other hand, if the debtor is a company, all liability will be limited to the company. It's important in this case to differentiate the type of company. The execution phase will only take place if the debtor doesn't fulfill the case amicably. The court will investigate all relevant assets in order to determine the total value. This could mean all debtors' assets includes properties, vehicles, bank accounts, etc. These assets can either be blocked or confiscated against the court to ensure the debtors settle the outstanding. The last step in terms of recovering the debt, the court can organize an auction for confiscated assets. Once the assets are auctioned off, the fund can be claimed by the creditor through the courts. In case that there are no assets to be attached, an arrest warrant will be issued. This will include a travel ban and immigration block to ensure the debtor doesn't renew his visa, driving license, and so forth. An important solution to consider are promissory notes. These are enforced to ensure the debtor complies with the payment plan. Promissory notes are signed documents containing a written promise to pay an amount to a person or a company at a set date or on demand. The power and authorization depends on the type of notes. To execute a promissory note, it must be legalized at the notary public in the courts. Non-fulfillment of a promissory note will be considered a breach of trust in the UAE. The debtor can be subject to imprisonment without penalty. This means that it will consider a criminal case automatically. Smart Money Claims Recovery Services specialize in debt recovery and accounts receivables management. Contact Smart Money for any inquiries.